What if Gotham's nightmare isn't over yet? What if everything we have seen so far was only the beginning of a much larger and much darker story? Yes, guys, today we are talking about Joker 3. And trust me, if this movie ever happens, it could become one of the most disturbing, emotional, and unforgettable films ever made. After the events of Joker and Joker, Folie à Deux, the future of Arthur Fleck remains one of Hollywood's biggest mysteries. There is currently no official confirmation for Joker 3, but that hasn't stopped fans from imagining where the story could go next. And honestly, the possibilities are terrifying. So make sure you stay until the end, because what Gotham could become in a potential Joker 3 might shock you. The Joker franchise has always been different from traditional comic book movies. It isn't about superheroes saving the world. It isn't about giant battles or cosmic threats. Instead, it focuses on something much more frightening: human nature itself. It shows how loneliness, neglect, corruption, and social collapse can transform an ordinary person into something dangerous. That's one of the reasons why Joker became such a massive success. The first movie wasn't just a film, it became a cultural phenomenon. Audiences around the world connected with Arthur Fleck's tragic story, even while being disturbed by the choices he made. Now imagine Gotham several years after the previous films. The city is worse than ever. Crime dominates the streets. Corrupt leaders continue making empty promises. Poverty spreads across entire neighborhoods. People no longer believe things will ever improve. Every day feels like survival. Every night feels dangerous. And hanging over all of this chaos is the legacy of one man, Arthur Fleck. The strange thing is that Arthur may no longer be the most dangerous person in Gotham. The idea of Joker has become far bigger than the man himself. Across the city, people wear clown masks. Underground groups gather in secret. Criminal organizations use Joker's image as a symbol of rebellion. What began as one man's breakdown has evolved into something nobody can control. And that's exactly what makes it terrifying. Imagine waking up in Gotham and seeing Joker's face everywhere. On television, on walls, on social media, in protests, in riots. Every act of violence becomes connected to his image. Every angry citizen finds inspiration in his story. Some view him as a victim, others see him as a hero, and many simply use his legend as an excuse to spread more chaos. But here's where things become truly dangerous. What if Arthur Fleck himself no longer recognizes the movement he created? What if the people following him have taken his ideas further than he ever intended? Suddenly, Joker is no longer controlling the chaos. The chaos is controlling itself. If Joker 3 were ever made, one of its strongest themes could be the loss of identity. Arthur spent years trying to be noticed. He wanted people to see him. He wanted to matter. But now, he may discover the terrible cost of becoming a symbol. Everywhere he goes, people expect him to be the Joker. Nobody sees Arthur anymore. Nobody remembers the struggling man who once dreamed of becoming a comedian. The myth has completely replaced the person. That internal struggle could create some of the most emotional scenes in the entire trilogy. Imagine Arthur standing in front of thousands of followers who worship him while realizing he feels more alone than ever. Imagine him understanding that he has become trapped inside a character he can never escape. The world loves the Joker, but nobody cares about Arthur Fleck. At the same time, Gotham itself could become the true focus of the story. The city has always been more than just a setting. It acts like a living character. Its corruption created Arthur. Its failures helped shape the Joker. And now Gotham may finally face the consequences of everything it ignored for years. Picture entire districts falling under the control of violent groups, emergency services struggling to function, citizens living in constant fear, businesses closing, families leaving, society slowly breaking apart piece by piece. Gotham begins transforming into a city where chaos feels normal and hope becomes increasingly rare. Another fascinating possibility is the emergence of new followers who believe they understand Joker better than Arthur does himself. These individuals could become even more dangerous than the original Joker because they are inspired by an idea rather than a person. They don't know Arthur's pain. They don't understand his struggles. All they see is a symbol of rebellion, and symbols can be far more powerful than people. This is where the psychological tension could become incredible. Arthur might find himself fighting against the very movement he inspired, or perhaps he embraces it completely. Either direction could lead to an unforgettable conclusion. Of course, none of this would work without Joaquin Phoenix. His performance remains the heart of the franchise. He transformed Arthur Fleck into one of the most complex and memorable characters of modern cinema. A third film would likely depend heavily on his ability to balance vulnerability, sadness, fear, anger, and unpredictability. If he returned, audiences could once again witness a performance unlike anything else in Hollywood. Visually, Joker 3 could be stunning. Imagine rain-soaked streets covered in clown graffiti, empty subway stations filled with tension, massive crowds gathering under flickering lights, news broadcasts showing the city's decline. Every frame could feel haunting and uncomfortable. Instead of relying on expensive special effects, the film could create fear through atmosphere, emotion, and realism. Now let's talk about the budget. If Joker 3 were ever approved, experts would likely expect a budget between $80 and $120 million. Compared to major superhero movies, that's relatively small. But the Joker films have proven that powerful storytelling can sometimes be more effective than giant visual spectacles. As for the release date, there is currently no official confirmation that Joker 3 is even in development. Warner Brothers has not announced a third movie. That means every story prediction, casting rumor, and release date speculation should be treated as exactly that, speculation. Until an official announcement arrives, nobody knows whether Joker 3 will actually happen. But if it does, the box office potential would be enormous. The first Joker crossed $1 billion worldwide despite its relatively modest budget. The character remains one of the most recognizable figures in popular culture. If a third film delivered a powerful story and a satisfying conclusion, it could easily become one of the most talked about movies of its year. And here's the most chilling possibility of all. What if Joker 3 ends with the realization that Gotham will never change? What if Arthur discovers that no matter how many people rise, fall, suffer, or fight, the city continues creating new monsters? That kind of ending would transform the trilogy into something much bigger than a comic book story. It would become a warning about society itself. So guys, what do you think? Should Joker 3 happen? Do you want to see Arthur Fleck return one final time, or do you think his story has already reached its perfect ending? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications because many more amazing Hollywood movie updates are coming soon. Trust me, Gotham's darkest legend may be finished, or perhaps his most terrifying chapter hasn't even begun yet.